Mindfulness made easy Buddhist ways to find inner peace. What is mindfulness, truly? At its heart, mindfulness is the gentle practice of being completely present, fully engaged in the here and now, without judgment or distraction. Think of it like enjoying a warm cup of tea. When you're mindful, you're not rushing through it or thinking of what's next. You're aware of the warmth in your hands, the scent rising with the steam, the subtle taste with each sip. Your mind isn't drifting to tomorrow's worries or yesterday's regrets. It rests gently in this moment. This awareness is not a modern trend. It traces back thousands of years to the wisdom of the Buddha. He encouraged his followers to develop a clear and composed awareness of all experiences, whether thoughts, emotions, or bodily sensations. In the Buddhist teachings, mindfulness is more than a technique. It's a path to inner freedom. It helps us remain steady even when life becomes turbulent. What sets mindfulness apart is that it doesn't aim to numb or escape reality. Instead, it invites us to embrace life as it unfolds. Its beauty, its discomfort, and everything in between. Take anger, for example. Without awareness, anger can overtake us and drive our behavior. But with mindfulness, you learn to notice, there is anger present in me now. By acknowledging it without blame or resistance, you create space to respond thoughtfully, rather than react instinctively. The essence of this path isn't about pursuing fleeting pleasure or material gain. Instead, it reminds us that true calm arises when we return to the present. Because in truth, the present moment is the only place where peace can ever be found. Why does the present moment hold such significance? It's simple. The past is already behind us, and the future is still out of reach. Yet our minds constantly revisit what has been or worry over what might be. We replay old conversations, dwell on missed chances, or imagine problems that haven't yet come to pass. But in truth, the only moment where life genuinely unfolds is this one, right here, right now. When we dwell on the past, we often feel regret, shame, or longing. When our thoughts leap into the future, we invite stress and fear. Questions like, what if things go wrong? Or what if I'm not good enough? Begin to cloud our mind. Mindfulness offers a way out of this mental noise. It brings us back to the reality of the now, where clarity, peace, and presence reside. One of the foundational teachings in Buddhism is the truth of impermanence. Nothing remains the same. Life, like a flowing river, is in constant motion. And while we might wish to hold on to people, experiences, or feelings, they too will pass. Resistance to this truth often leads to suffering. But mindfulness gently teaches us to accept change, not as a loss, but as part of the rhythm of life. Think of a blossoming flower. This beauty lies not just in how it blooms, but in the awareness that it won't last forever. This very impermanence is what makes each moment meaningful. When we learn to truly observe and accept life's changing nature, we begin to cherish each passing moment with deeper appreciation. At first, the present moment might seem ordinary, even dull. But once we begin to pay close attention to a breath, a sound, a fleeting thought, we uncover a quiet richness. Every sensation becomes a doorway into a more grounded, awake experience of life. The Buddha taught that this very awareness is our gateway to peace, not by seeking elsewhere, but by recognizing what is already here. Yet many of us avoid the present moment. Why? Because it reveals everything, including the things we often try to avoid. Feelings of loneliness, sadness, or discomfort naturally arise. And instead of acknowledging them, we often seek distractions through entertainment, devices, or constant busyness. But mindfulness isn't about turning away. It's about turning toward, with gentleness and courage. It teaches us that even challenging emotions are part of the human journey. Like waves in the sea, they come and go. When we learn to watch them without being swept away, we begin to regain our inner balance. Understanding impermanence doesn't mean becoming indifferent. It means learning to live with openness and gratitude, knowing that nothing lasts forever. This simple, quiet truth can transform the way we experience each day, welcoming change and finding peace in every moment. All aspects of life, our belongings, our relationships, even our own bodies, are in a constant state of change. While this truth can seem unsettling at first, it actually holds a quiet wisdom. Impermanence reminds us not to take anything for granted. Consider the beauty of a sunset. Part of what makes it so moving is the knowledge that it will soon fade. If it lingered endlessly, we might lose sight of its magic. This is the gift of impermanence. It calls us to cherish each moment, to live with greater awareness and gratitude. With mindfulness, we begin to view even the smallest details of life as treasures, precisely because we know they are temporary. Meeting life's trials with presence and courage. Life will inevitably bring its share of difficulties, moments of disappointment, loss, or emotional pain. But the practice of mindfulness can serve as an anchor in these storms. The Buddha once likened our inner mind to the sky. Though clouds and storms may pass through, the sky itself remains unshaken. Likewise, emotions and challenges may come and go, but our deeper sense of calm can remain intact. By grounding ourselves in the present, we stop resisting what's happening and instead begin to respond with clarity. Acceptance here is not the same as resignation. It's the willingness to face reality as it is, with steadiness and compassion. Rather than thinking, this shouldn't be happening, we learn to say, this is what's here right now. Let me meet it with awareness, bringing mindfulness into everyday life. So how can we begin to live more mindfully? Here are a few simple practices that can be woven gently into your day. A pause and breathe. When you feel tension rising, take a quiet moment to focus on your breathing. Inhale gently, exhale slowly. Let your attention settle on the rhythm of breath. Even one mindful breath can return you to the present. Listen deeply. In your next conversation, try to listen with full attention. Not just to words, but also to tone, emotion, and pauses. This form of presence strengthens connection and understanding. To observe nature, spend a few quiet minutes with something natural. A tree swaying in the wind, a bird in flight, or the way light filters through leaves. Nature constantly models mindfulness if we take time to notice. Savor small joys. Whether it's the aroma of tea, the warmth of sunlight, or the sound of rain, these ordinary moments become extraordinary when seen with mindful eyes. Final reflection. To truly embrace the present moment is, in a way, to rediscover life itself. Mindfulness offers not just techniques, but a way of being. A path that leads us to greater peace, resilience, and joy in the midst of a constantly changing world. Uncovering peace through mindful living. Mindfulness is not merely about escaping distraction. It's about gently returning to a deeper awareness of what has always been within us. The teachings of the Buddha remind us that lasting peace and genuine happiness are not distant goals we must pursue. Rather, they are innate qualities of the mind, waiting to be realized. When we bring mindfulness into our daily lives, we begin to recognize the richness of the present moment and gain the strength to meet life's challenges with steadiness and compassion. The Buddha wisely advised, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." These words encapsulate the heart of mindfulness, a practice that gently reshapes not only our thoughts, but our entire way of being. More than a meditative technique, mindfulness is a transformative path, a way of living that, when nurtured regularly, brings profound benefits to our mind, emotions, relationships, and spiritual understanding. Let us now reflect on a few of the powerful changes mindfulness can inspire. Cultivating inner peace, quieting the restless mind. Have you ever felt as if your thoughts are spinning endlessly, jumping from one concern to another, like a monkey swinging from branch to branch? This condition, often referred to as the monkey mind, is a universal human experience. Mindfulness offers a way to calm this mental turbulence. By gently returning our focus to the breath or a simple present experience, the mind, like muddy water left to settle, begins to clear. Over time, a stillness arises from within, one that does not depend on external comfort or success. This inner peace becomes a quiet refuge, always available to those who remember to return. Balancing emotions, responding rather than reacting. Emotions, whether joyful or difficult, are a natural part of being human. Yet without awareness, they can carry us away. We may act out in anger or retreat in fear, later regretting the things we said or did. The Buddha likened emotions to waves. They rise, they fall, and they pass. Mindfulness gives us space to witness our feelings without being ruled by them. Instead of identifying with the emotion, saying, "I am angry," we learn to say, "Anger is present." This simple change in language reflects a deeper shift in perspective. It allows us to relate to emotions with curiosity, patience, and wisdom. Over time, we become more composed, more forgiving, and more understanding toward ourselves and toward others. Gaining spiritual clarity, seeing reality as it is. Perhaps the most profound gift of mindfulness is its ability to deepen our spiritual insight. The Buddha taught that to truly understand life, we must recognize three essential truths: dukkha, the unsatisfactoriness of life; anicca, the impermanent nature of all things; and anatta, the absence of a fixed self. Through mindfulness, we begin to see these truths not as abstract doctrines, but as living realities. We observe how joy and sorrow arise and pass, how no experience lasts, and how the self we cling to is constantly changing. In this recognition, we find freedom not from life but within life itself. Living mindfully, deepening awareness and well-being. Some of the most profound truths in life are not fully understood through reasoning alone. They must be experienced. Through mindfulness, the teachings of impermanence, anicca, unsatisfactoriness, dukkha, and non-self, anatta, become more than concepts. As your awareness sharpens, you begin to see clearly how your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations continually shift and evolve. This lived experience of change helps you loosen the grip of attachment and expectation, which so often lie at the root of suffering. Mindfulness also awakens a deeper sense of connection. As you grow more aware, you begin to see that your well-being is not separate from the world around you. This insight fosters compassion, generosity, and a sincere desire to care for others, because their happiness becomes inseparable from your own. Mindful relationships are deepening connection with others. Have you ever truly listened, without preparing your response or mentally drifting elsewhere? Mindfulness invites us to be present with those around us. When you engage mindfully in conversations, you bring your full attention to the person before you. You listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. This presence nurtures empathy and patience. You're more capable of seeing the world through another's eyes, which softens conflict and encourages mutual understanding. Whether it's with loved ones, colleagues, or strangers, mindfulness strengthens the very fabric of our relationships through presence, kindness, and shared humanity. Supporting the body and mind health benefits of mindfulness. Though mindfulness has its roots in spiritual tradition, it has also been embraced by modern science for its measurable benefits. Numerous studies confirm what practitioners have known for centuries. To reduce stress, regular mindfulness practice helps lower cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress, promoting a sense of calm and resilience. Improved sleep. By soothing mental restlessness, mindfulness encourages restful, deeper sleep. A sharpened focus. Mindful awareness helps enhance concentration and clarity, reducing distractions in work and life. A better heart health. Mindfulness has been shown to contribute to lower blood pressure and improved cardiovascular function. These outcomes highlight that mindfulness is not only spiritually nourishing, it also improves quality of life in tangible, everyday ways. Foundational practices. Cultivating mindfulness daily. Mindfulness is not something achieved overnight. Like tending a garden, it requires consistent care. Fortunately, the path begins with simple, accessible practices drawn directly from the teachings of the Buddha. Here are 3 foundational methods. 1. Mindful breathing, returning to the present. Breathing is life's constant companion, yet we often overlook it. Mindful breathing brings us back to the here and now with ease and gentleness. To begin, sit or stand in a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you like, and place your attention on the breath. Notice the air flowing in and out, the rise and fall of your chest. When the mind wanders, as it naturally will, gently bring it back to the breath. The Buddha spoke often of the power of mindful breathing, encouraging his followers with the simple reflection. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. This practice is both grounding and deeply calming. 2. Mindful walking, awareness in motion. Walking can be more than movement, it can be meditation. Mindful walking invites you to slow down and bring attention to each step. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Synchronize your breath with your pace. Notice the sounds, the air, the movements around you. Even a short mindful walk through a quiet room or outdoor path can reawaken your sense of presence. 3. Mindful eating, nourishment with awareness. Eating is something we do daily, yet often without attention. Mindful eating transforms this ordinary activity into a moment of gratitude and presence. Pay attention to the colors, textures, and flavors of your food. Eat slowly, savoring each bite. Notice the subtle sensations as you chew and swallow. This practice not only deepens your appreciation for food, it also encourages healthier habits, reduces overeating, and enhances digestion. Expanding mindfulness into daily life. Mindful eating brings a sense of reverence to something we do every day. The next time you sit down for a meal, pause and observe your food. Notice the colors, the textures, the aroma. Take a small bite and chew slowly, being fully aware of each flavor and sensation. Reflect for a moment on where the food came from, the earth, the farmers, the cooks, and recognize the effort and interconnection behind every meal. This gratitude transforms eating into a spiritual practice, one that nourishes both body and mind. The role of meditation, cultivating stillness within. Meditation is the foundation of mindfulness. It offers a sacred space to turn inward, quiet the mind, and awaken awareness. Begin simply. Sit with your back straight, eyes gently closed. Bring your attention to the breath. When thoughts arise, and they will, acknowledge them without judgment and gently return to the breath. Starting with 5 to 10 minutes a day is enough. Over time, you'll find that this practice strengthens your ability to remain present, not only during meditation but throughout the movements of daily life. Everyday mindfulness, finding presence in the ordinary. You don't need to escape your responsibilities to practice mindfulness. In fact, daily life provides countless opportunities. While washing dishes, be aware of the warmth of the water, the texture of the soap, the sound of the running tap. While working, focus on one task at a time, resisting the urge to multitask. During conversations, listen attentively, without planning your reply. This kind of awareness turns ordinary tasks into meaningful, grounded moments. It is not about doing more, it is about being more present. The light of awareness, a path to freedom. The Buddha likened mindfulness to a lamp illuminating the path. It is through practices such as breathing, walking, eating, meditating, and mindful living that we cultivate clarity and compassion. These practices require no special tools, only a sincere intention to pause, notice, and return to the here and now. With time, mindfulness becomes a natural way of being. As the Buddha taught, a disciplined mind brings happiness. It is this inner discipline, not harsh, but steady and kind, that opens the door to lasting peace and wisdom. Overcoming obstacles on the mindfulness path. Although simple in principle, mindfulness often reveals inner resistance. Like learning a musical instrument or training the body, developing awareness takes time, patience, and courage. Fortunately, every difficulty is also an opportunity for growth. Distractions, the wandering mind, It's common to sit down to meditate only to find your mind racing. This is not a failure, it is the nature of the untrained mind. The Buddha called it monkey mind, constantly leaping from one branch of thought to another. When distractions appear, simply acknowledge them. You might say inwardly, this is thinking or the mind has wandered. Then gently guide your attention back to your breath or your chosen anchor. This act of returning again and again is the very heart of practice. Craving and aversion, recognizing inner habitual forces. Two of the most powerful forces that challenge mindfulness are craving and aversion, wanting things to be different from how they are. You may crave calm and become frustrated when it doesn't come. You may resist discomfort or boredom. These reactions are deeply rooted in our minds, but mindfulness gives us space to pause and observe. Instead of acting on these impulses, acknowledge them. This is craving or there is resistance. Then, like watching clouds drift through the sky, let them pass. Through this, we learn to meet life as it is with greater equanimity. Patience, the steady flame of practice. Progress in mindfulness is rarely instant. There are days when the mind is still, and others when it feels like a storm. Both are part of the path. The Buddha compared the cultivation of mindfulness to training an ox to plow a field. It requires gentleness and persistence. Every effort you make, no matter how small, is a step toward liberation. Trust the process and return with patience. Self-compassion, the foundation of sustainable practice. Often, we are our own harshest critics. When we struggle to focus, we may think, I should be better than this. But mindfulness without compassion is incomplete. Be as kind to yourself as you would to a beloved friend. If the mind wanders, smile inwardly and bring it back, without blame. As the Buddha taught, loving kindness and awareness are two wings of the same bird. With both, you can soar toward a more peaceful life. Living mindfully, the true purpose. Ultimately, mindfulness is not confined to a cushion or a quiet room. It is a way of life. The Buddha encouraged his followers to bring mindful awareness to all actions. Walking, eating, working, speaking. When you approach each moment with presence, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Every step, every word, every breath becomes sacred. In a world filled with distraction, mindfulness is an act of remembrance. A return to what is real, enduring, and whole. It is not about escaping life, but about meeting life fully, with an open heart. Mindfulness is not a destination. It is a way of traveling through life. It is the art of being truly present, with a heart that is open and a mind that is clear. Through mindful living, we begin to rediscover what has always been within us. Peace, compassion, and deep connection. As the Buddha gently reminded, as you walk and eat and travel, be where you are. This presence is the doorway to a life of meaning, beauty, and understanding. So whether you're breathing, listening, helping someone in need, or simply pausing to appreciate the moment, know that these are sacred acts. And through them, you honor not only the present moment, but the very miracle of being alive. If this reflection has brought you a moment of peace or insight, we invite you to follow and subscribe to the Buddhism Answers Podcast. Here, we continue to explore the timeless wisdom of the Buddha, one teaching, one story, one breath at a time. Share this episode with someone who may need a quiet pause in their day. And if you feel moved, leave us a review or a comment to let us know how these teachings are resonating with you. May you walk this path with mindfulness, compassion, and clarity. The answers are not far, they are already within.